Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle then for another match preview, the Gary Rowett derby. And what a game for Gary Rowett to get underway for Leicester to take on ex-side Stoke. This one should be intriguing, Dan, to be honest. Can Leicester finally get a win? New manager bounce for Leicester. Stoke hindered of injuries. Leicester, you think where the bloody next win going to come from, Dan? But hopefully it's this weekend, and a lot to change massively in a short space of time, Dan.
That's it. Hopefully so. It would be nice to have the feeling of that so-called new manager bounce. We've not had it for quite some time. In fact, you could probably say a new manager bounce for Leicester goes back as far as Enzo Maresca, really, because the last four managers, however many you want to count up as interims, have given us about as much bounce as a beach ball.
Yeah. So it's one of them games, isn't it? 14 games now. Leicester needs safety in the Championship. It's a tough game going to Stoke, isn't it? Obviously, the last time we played them in the Championship, we obviously beat them. Things look good back then, but then you go forward now, and it's all doom and gloom. And Dan, I want to ask you one thing actually before we get on to Stoke and invite Carl in. The points deduction scenario. Obviously, it's all come out today, hasn't it, regarding Leicester's appealed it, the Premier League have appealed it. You expected the Premier League to appeal because they wasn't happy. They feel they wanted to slap the bloody law down on us, basically, and give us a hefty deduction of minus 20 or to minus 12. They wasn't happy. It went in our favour. We got off lightly. They was always going to appeal, but then Leicester said they was not going to appeal. But then Leicester have now decided, okay, let's fight fire with fire. Let's go and battle the Premier League again, and let's see what happens. So I think it's a daft move by Leicester, to be honest. We should have just took the slap on the wrist, took the decision and moved it on and got on with the season. But Leicester are like, nah, here we go again. So the beef between these two is still going on, and this appeal now will take till the end of the season. So we'll find out what the sanction is. Obviously, they're saying it's due to late submission of the accounts, and
but that late submission wasn't to the Premier League, though, was it? That was to the EFL at the time.
Yeah.
So I don't really, again, know why they're getting involved. My thoughts on, and I'm sure it's probably many Leicester fans now, is this is boring now. Let's just accept it, put it behind us. We've got bigger things to concentrate on this season than fanning around with fighting lost causes, really. Look, at the end of the day, whatever these pathetic rules are that prohibit sides from trying to push on and push forward, we've broke. There's no two ways about it. You can call it whatever you like. You can dress it up whatever you want. But at the end of the day, the rules are there. They all know them. Apart from Top, apparently. And everybody needs to abide by them. And if you don't, you put yourself in a position to get punished. So let's just suck it up, get on with it, and move on. Like I say, whether it's as you said, a bit of fighting fire with fire. If it had just been left alone, nothing probably would have been gone with it.
No.
The Premier League have obviously got the arse because
they want to appeal
as far as they're concerned again and embarrassed again by little old Leicester, as everybody seems to like to call us at the minute. So they've decided to go against this, and this is the other bit I don't understand. They're going to go against an independent regulator to try and get us more punishment. So what? So basically, the Premier League are saying, nah, you're not being fair, so we want them to have a bigger punishment. And they're going to go, well, they're most likely to go, no, we feel we've punished them adequately, move on, and hopefully that will be it. And hopefully, if that happens, we drop our case, because I would hate for us to go up against them again. And the courts do go, look, don't take the piss. You should have had 7, we give you 6. Think yourself lucky. They want to give you more. We probably should have given you more.
Yeah.
So
now we're in that boat now where they can give us a lot more. They could probably give us another 6 if they want to now. The Premier League, there was obviously little reports of 1 point being added, but the Premier League are not going to argue fucking 1 point. 1 point deduction is not going to matter to them to get an extra point on Leicester. They want more. They want vengeance on this whole scenario. They want a point to prove at this point. And they were always going to be nipped off that they wanted Leicester failed the legislations and that of what the rules that they broke, and the Premier League again are now finding a way of, well, it's all right, well, we want to sanction Leicester now, and Leicester are like, well, we're going to fight against this -6 and try and get it down. The Premier League are like, well, we want to slap an extra sanction on you and prove that we're not to be messed with, Leicester. So they're going to get the legal bodies in ready again, and they're going to be and if Leicester are unsuccessful here and the Premier League do win their case, Dan, it's more worrying for Leicester, because another points deduction for Leicester, say another 6 points, that's going to send us down to League One.
Well, yes, potentially. But then, you see, the Premier League have got to be careful as well. Yeah. And I don't really see what they're gaining from this other than saving a little bit of face. But so what? Who cares? They shouldn't care. We're not even in their association anymore. I'm not likely to be with the current state that we're in. But the problem that they cause themselves by doing it is that the next port of call is for us to then counter against that by going to the sport of arbitration. The sport of arbitration will then look at everything and go, well, you can potentially financially ruin this club and put them out of business. So we're not going to do that. So go away. They've been punished. They're taking the punishment. Let's just leave it at that. And I'm hoping that that's the same approach that these independent ruling goes with as well. Is saying, look, Premier League, fuck off. What are you bothering us about for? Yeah. They've been punished, accept it on both parties and leave it be. And that's it. I don't really understand, by not knowing enough about it partly, or care, to know what the Premier League exactly want or stand to gain from this, other than saving a bit of face. And in fact, if they end up bankrupting a club, they're not going to save face. They're going to get pulled out and called out.
Of course they are. And if Leicester go down to League One, then it's going to be worse for us, because I think and I believe if Leicester go down to League One, it's the highest wages paid squad ever to go down to League One.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That is madness.
We're already nearly at that with the Premier League. So
it's absurd. It is. For anyone to go down to League One with the wages in total we've got, that'd be the biggest ever in the EFL history.
Yeah.
So, right. We're going to chat more we're going to leave this one here.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on this weekend's game. We've had a little bit of a chat on it because I wanted to get Dan's opinion on the whole PSR situation again.
Yeah.
But we've got Cole here from where Potters walk. He's going to come and chat with us about Gary Rowett, the game itself. And if you've got any questions, Dan, be sure to ask Cole about it. Let's get the man in himself. Cole, how are we, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks to you.
I can just hear you.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is your signal gone? Oh. Cole, can you turn your thing up? I don't know if you can you?
Any better?
No.
No, I can barely hear you.
Can barely hear you. Oh, now you got on mute.
Is that any better?
Right, I can hear you. Right, that's fine. That'll work. That'll work for me. Carl, welcome back, mate. Last time we spoke about it, you said about Leicester being down in the dumps. They're very much still the same. You said it was the best time for anyone to get a points from Stoke because Stoke's are the gift that keep on giving. Leicester took the points last time round.
Yeah.
Talk to me firstly about your season. It's like you fell off a cliff. Obviously, you've been hindered of injuries, but you were top of the Championship at one point of the season. But then, where's it gone wrong?
Injuries, in a word. Injuries. The injuries that we've got are with key players as well. They're not just fringe players. They're not bench-warming players. We've lost Junior Shamadou, our right back. We've got Victor Johansson's out, who's arguably the best keeper. Yeah, best keeper in the Championship. We lost for a while Creswell and Bocat, which was our left backs. They've just come back. We lost Lewis Baker, who was key to everything in our midfield. Yeah. We lost Gallagher, who's always injured, so I suppose we never lost him because we never have him. We bought a striker in Robert Bosniak. He looked really lively. He's got a goal against Hull, dislocated his shoulder. That's him ruled out now for a long time. We got the Man City kid, Mubama. Show glimpses of what he can do. Looked all right. Got injured. He's out for the season. We got Southampton on loan, Bazuma, the goalkeeper. Yeah. We got him in. He played a game. He's now out for the season. I can carry on. That's
Jesus. You sound about as cursed as us.
What they're doing in training, I don't know. I've no idea.
Sounds like saying we brave done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is. Some Stoke fans can't get it in their head that is what is wrong. We come out the traps flying this season. We looked absolutely fantastic. We looked the real deal. Robins are completely transformers. 10 players down later, or however many it is now, we just look a shadow of the team that we were. The only saving grace that we've got is we played Fulham in the Cup last Sunday. And we did look half decent, to be fair. It was just 2 mistakes, but they come from the goalkeeper and he's just a young kid. He's only 21. So, yeah, that's where our season fell off the cliff. It's just injury after injury. The cursed Stoke City, the most cursed club in the world, continues.
Dawn, shout out to you for becoming a member. Appreciate it as always. Thanks for your support. Dan, I mean, it seems a bit of an advantage for Leicester to take what Stoke have got all these injuries to their key players, but we know what Leicester City are like, Dan. I mean, Leicester City's lost to bloody Southampton under 21s at the weekend in the Cup with our experienced players, Dan. So, what's your thoughts on what Cole said about Stoke? They had a good start, but
they had a great start. Yeah, they had a great start. Really, it was your right winger who scored quite a few of your goals at one point. And is he out?
He's still playing, but his form has just dropped off because we've played him in every game, every minute of every game. He looks knackered. He looks how you'd expect. He looks knackered, and I'd say the last 5-6 games he's looked a shadow of what he was, but that's what's been happening to us.
I suppose with that as well is with not having that bit of quality around him that he had before is where he's losing out.
Yeah, massively. He's playing some decent ball. I mean, we've just signed another striker, Schmidt. His name is. He's come from overseas again. He's a Dutch player. But for some reason, Sorba Thomas hasn't been able to deliver the balls to him because, like I say, the quality that he's got around him now, your Bakers and all the defenders that have been playing as wing backs who've been feeding Sorba Thomas, they're all out. They just look a shadow of this squad that they have been at the start of the season.
Tell you what, though, you play Leicester next, Carl. It might be a bit of a positive the way the Foxes have been going this season. I want to ask you something, Carl. Gary Rowett, former Stoke head coach, give Leicester City fans a bit of an insight into what Leicester fans can expect from Gary Rowett and how it went for him at Stoke.
Do you want the positives and the negatives?
You can give us a mixed bag, or was it that bad?
He spent the most money we've spent in a long time. He spent so much money. He bought in players that, to be fair, they look decent. He bought Benicofobia in. He kept the Premier League players like Butland and Shawcross. He brought in Tom Ince. He threw money at the squad. And he's part of the reason to blame why we've been so bad ever since, because we've been crippled by financial fair play ever since Rowett took over. What I will say is, other than our first game under him, which was Leeds away, we got absolutely battered.
Yeah.
He made us look solid. We did look defensively better. We kept getting draw after draw. We didn't see many wins under Rowett. I think at one point, he might have broke a record for us, the most draws in a season.
Bloody hell.
But you know what you're going to get with Rowett. He's like your old school manager, isn't he? He builds from the back. He does play long balls. I think personally, with that squad you've got there, I think he could be the right appointment for keep you up. Long term, you won't want to watch his football long term.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you on Saturday you'll hear Gary Rowett, your football is
shit.
Yeah, I didn't know whether I could say that, but yeah, that's it. You'll hear that 100%. His football was terrible. It was Stoke to complain about bad football. We had years of Tony Pulis, and it's very similar sort of football. Solid defensively, hits the ball long, likes to target man up front, which was Benicofobia for us. Tries feed him and work off that. He's done well elsewhere. He's done well. He did all right at Millwall. He's done okay at Oxford up until recently. So. Good appointment for what you've given him, I think, till the end of the season.
Yeah. Well,
so would you say he's a draw specialist then?
What was that? Sorry.
Would you say he's a draw specialist?
100%. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we never saw so many draws. Whether it was 0-0, 1-1, we did see plenty of draws under him. Not many wins. His ultimate downfall for us is he spent a lot of money. He wasn't getting immediate success what the fans expected, because we just dropped down from the Premier League and spent a load of money. And I think it was his attitude. We had players like Bojan still in the squad, and Stoke fans absolutely love Bojan from the Premier League days. Real fan favourite, and he threw him under the bus, just said he wasn't good enough. I mean, the guy who's played for Barcelona, he's played in the Champions League, he was a class player in the Premier League. And Gary Rowett didn't seem to think he could cut it in the Championship.
Yeah.
Did you say there were an echo, Dan?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Cole, try your headphones and turn them up. Well, I don't know. It seems you took them back out.
We're getting a bit of feedback when we talk and it comes through your side.
Oh, here we go.
No. That's it. Well, we don't have the feedback, but we can't hear you.
I think you might have to work through something if he keeps giving us, if he keeps not giving a statue.
Is that any better?
No.
Very faint.
I was on my laptop early, but the laptop crashed, so I panicked and come straight on this.
I mean, if you could change over, that'd be fine.
Let me try open it back up again.
Yeah, all right, no worries. Right, let me just drop him out for a sec. Sorry about that, everyone. Dan, what's your thoughts on the appointment of Gary Rowett? He is the manager now.
Yeah, he is. Look, it's like we said the other day. He wouldn't be in anybody's even top 10 list of appointments.
Yeah.
But in the pool that we're fishing in at this moment in time, you know, he may well, by the sounds of the style of football he plays, get us enough points to get us over the line, which is what we need to do, and then reevaluate in the summer. So, you know, we've not been silly. We have only given him a 6-month contract, or to the end of the season contract, you know, and sort of go from there. But the one thing for sure is that we are defensively weak. So if he can make us stable and stop us from conceding goals, because at the minute we have to score at least 2 goals to win a football match. So you know, we don't do enough of that. So
we need to score more than the opposition.
We're in the position we're in. Yeah, that's it. So look, like I said, am I disappointed with it? Not particularly. I'm kind of meh around it all. But sort of, what options do we have in the current position that we're in? So, and again, like I say, the trouble that we're in, who would you turn to realistically? You know, he is, as what was said by somebody else the other day, is kind of like your championship version of your Sam Allardyce, your Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
You know, and as I keep saying, that's where we're at the minute. We have to seriously lower our expectations as a fan group as to where we are and what sort of managers that we're going to entice at this moment in time. You know, I always believe that we will always get decent managers that want the job, even if we do go down. Because regardless, we are a big club. We are a club that spends money. You know, might not be in the right ways at times, but we still do. And there'll always be that manager that rates themselves and thinks, well, I can turn that round and I can do that job. And as well, you know, I'm not being funny. It's like when some people have said about the Lincoln manager, they've gone, why would he come to Leicester for? We're going down and they're going up. Yeah, but theirs is going to be temporary. Let's be honest. You know, Lincoln are a very small club in comparison to what Leicester City are. So you would take the Leicester job. All right, you might know you're going to be in the league below for a season, but then you'll go up if you're good enough. And then depending on what happens then, you know, you may get a bigger job off of the back of that. He's more likely to get the next level up with a Leicester City than what he will do with a Lincoln City, you know, and stuff like that. So, like I say, with Rowett, I'm happy about it. Like I say, I'm meh, but we, you know, we are where we are, and that's what's available to us. The main thing is just stop conceding goals and having to score at least 2 goals to win a game, and then build from there and start getting points on the board, because we seriously need them. You know, we're 2 points away from the next team above us, you know, out of the relegation zone at the minute. So
there we go. I think he's back. Go.
How's that? Is that better?
Right.
Much better.
It's a better bloody image, you know, actually. You look like you're too far away.
I always have a nightmare when I go on this laptop. It'll always crash. I think last time I was on, they rinsed me for my Wi-Fi, and it happens every time I do a podcast.
We're Butlin Seagrave. It's lovely. It's lovely, isn't it? Having a holiday camp as a training ground and not hard work going into it.
Yeah.
No, Dan, Gary Rowett is a short-term fix. That's what he is. He's not a miracle worker. He's not a long-term manager in what you need. He's a manager that has to come in now and hit the ground running quite quickly, because, you know, it's a club in a big mess and changes need to happen quite convincingly now with getting the players playing, bringing that fight to the team, strengthening up that defence. But then people say, yeah, but he's a side manager that likes to make his teams hard to beat. But then you've also got to have players at the other end who can score enough goals more than the opponent. And you look at Leicester, you've got Ayew and Bloody Daka, who are not fluent goal scorers. They're not players who's going to score you every week. They're consistent enough. So at Oxford, he had strikers like Lancashire and that who could score you goals. And then you look at what Derby had that year in Birmingham City and teams like that he's worked at.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's a safe appointment for Leicester. If he can keep you up, fantastic, because that's the aim for him. But he's not to blame if we do get relegated at the end of the day. He's just come here to do a job, get paid for how long he's going to be here for, about 10 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a tough job for him. He's brought Callum Davidson in as well, Dan, as a left back, he was a left back at Leicester as a player, but now he's a coach, and he's a no-nonsense bloody defender either, Callum Davidson. And I believe Callum Davidson was at Stoke as well with him, Cole. What's your opinion of why did Rowett leave Stoke? What happened?
He basically got sacked. At the end of the interview, I think one of the games, the fans were a bit fed up with the sort of football that we were getting, and he completely threw, as I said earlier, Bojan under the bus, and he just lost the fans. And once you lose the fans, it's a very, very tough ask, isn't it? And that's all it was. He just spent a lot of money. He didn't get immediate success, which not many people have at Stoke ever since. So, you know, it probably wasn't all of his fault. I think we come down from the Premier League and expect to walk the Championship, and we didn't. And he was a victim of Stoke, you could say, because many managers have been in since, and there's only been Mark Robbins, I think, and Michael O'Neill, arguably, who's now at Blackburn, that have done anything with us.
Yeah. Let's have a look at last time round. These two sides faced off. Leicester won 2-1 at the King Power this season. It was a game where I'd spoke to Cole before, and he said Stoke are the gift that keep on giving, and he was proven right in the end. Leicester obviously ended up winning. Patson Daka scored after about a year, Dan, since he scored?
It was.
Daka scored. Mavidi scored. I believe Bayho scored for Stoke in that game. It was a bloody masterclass by Asmir Begovic, Dan, in that the win over Stoke early on in November.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he done all the right things, you know. Played the injuries and bits like that at the time with a bit of time wasting and stuff, but that's what he should do with the experience that he has. And again, at the point, the trouble that we were in, we're still in that same trouble. So hopefully it turns out again, and like what you've been saying about Rowett, and like I was just previously saying with Jack before you come back to us, is like we'll take the clean sheets at the minute because we haven't had any. So, it's been a very long time. So
26 consecutively without a clean sheet in the league.
We'll take that because I think what the one thing for us, Jack, is that we do always score goals. That's never really been an issue this season.
It's how many's going in on it. Yeah,
the problem is how many we concede, and and we, as we know from 27 games now, we know we've got to score a minimum of 2 goals to get any points. So I will accept that with Rowett because I expect our front line to have enough pace and guile about them to score goals, because as you well have seen, the likes of Abdul can score a goal from anywhere when he wants to. So I don't have any worries about that. It's like I say, it's just us defensively that we have the biggest issue with.
Cole, what did you take from last time when you played Leicester out of that game? I think you guys would have felt aggrieved with Leicester took their chances when it mattered. Stoke had quite a few chances in that game, I believe. What did you have in that game? 11 shots. You had quite a few chances. I think you were quite dominant in possession and that, but it just wouldn't go in.
I think it was a game of two halves, if I remember rightly. I think the first half he scored. I did call it that Daka had scored because she said he hadn't scored for a year. I think I called the scoreline as well, if I remember. I said, you'll win
2-1 Leicester,
yeah. Daka will score because she said he hadn't scored for a year. And I said, Stoke City, a charity FC. I think it was a game of two halves. I think you were by far the better team and you deservedly were 2-0 up. And I think the second half, I think we could have won it. The amount of chances we had. Our old friend Begovic come back and he was just showed his experience, didn't he? You know, he was dropping on the floor when he could, faking injuries. He made some fantastic saves. I think Manouf, one of them went through. I don't look like Steve Cooper. No. I think Manouf did a good chance 1-on-1 and Bego saved that, and I think it was just a masterclass from him that kept you in it. I think
massive saves. Dan, what do you sort of take? Obviously, last time we visited them, we won 5-0. Better performances. Obviously, Enzo Maresca were Leicester's manager back when we played Stoke. Jamie Vardy were at Leicester back then. Patson Daka scored 2 in that game, by the way. So he has a bit of a thing for Stoke City at this point.
Hopefully he's back in the side again on Saturday instead of Uncle Ayu and can continue that form. So hopefully so. But as for Daka, we all know he struggles. But I was a little bit surprised he didn't play against Southampton in that FA Cup game, unless he had a niggle, because like strikers do, he doesn't score very often. And then he did score against Southampton in the crushing 4-3, and then he doesn't play the next game. You would have liked to have thought that he would have played to continue that form. I mean, it's not like I say he could be knackered. He's not really played that much either. So it was a bit disappointing to see him come out. As I say, especially for Ayu, but they've done what they've done. But hopefully he'll be back on Saturday and continue, like I say, continue his form of scoring against Stoke.
Well, we bloody need some goals against Stoke. We're hoping for a Gary Rowett masterclass at this point. It'd be even nice to get a point. 3 points would even be better. It's going to take him time to go in there and change it. Of course it is. It's not an overnight thing. But then the last time we visited Stoke in this type of scenario in the Championship with the season, we went down to League One. Last game of the season, one of the darkest days in the club's history, Dan. Stoke went up to the Premier League, didn't they, at that point? Carl, I believe. Leicester went down to League One on the final day, and we go to Stoke again in sort of the same circumstances, except you lot ain't going up to the Premier League this time, but Leicester are in like a relegation battle again.
Yeah, it's a massive shock from an outsider. You know what I mean? Obviously, we don't watch it week in, week out. We pick up the results, but for that squad that you've got for Beware, it's such a shock. And I don't think anybody expected. I don't even think that your fans probably expected you to have been there. Obviously, the points deductions killed you. Do I think you'll go down now? I think you're way too good to go down. I think Gary Rowett. I think Rowett will get you out of trouble. As I said earlier, his football won't be pretty, but he'll keep you up. I'm sure he will. There's too many teams that are worse than Leicester to go down. Way too many. Obviously, Oxford have dropped in there. There's going to be some more that drop below you, and the rate we're falling at the minute, you'll end up overtaking us at this rate.
Not so sure we'll get enough points for that as yet.
Stoke are 11 points ahead of us. That's some doing.
Yeah.
It's Stoke we're talking about. It's Stoke. That's the massive advantage you've got on Saturday as well. The 12:30 kickoffs, for some reason, we've been absolutely diabolical when it's a 12:30 kickoff. Don't know whether the players just roll out of bed at 11 or what, but they always half asleep on the 12:30 kickoffs. Never get going.
What's the form like going into this game, Carl, as a Stoke fan? I look at it here. You've lost to Fulham, lost to Charlton, drew to West Brom, drew to Birmingham. Obviously, your last home defeat would have been Southampton in the league.
Yeah.
Where is it gone horribly wrong, though? Like what he's missing. And I know you talk about Johansson and in him being a key role in the best keeper in the Championship, but where's it gone wrong in like an attacking sense?
Lewis Baker, he was influential at the start of the season in everything that we did. He'd get the ball off the defenders. He was more than capable of having a shot from outside the area. He got us a few goals. He knitted that midfield together. He could spread the ball to the wingers. He was such a massive player for us.
Yeah.
And to lose him has been just as big as losing Johansson. It's had a massive effect on us. I think as soon as he dropped out, we dropped off. We struggled with goals and everything as soon as we lost Lewis Baker. We've brought in players such as Thomas Rigo, who I think there is a player in there, but it's going to take a while to get him come out. I think he's going to need a season because he's come from overseas again. And we just lost all creativity in the midfield. We really have. There's players in there. Ben Pearson's there, who's the grit and determination, but we've got nobody that can string a decent pass or one of them eye of the needle passes or shoot from outside the area. We just have not got that player at the minute.
Stoke haven't won any of the last 7 going into this. Leicester have lost 5 straight, conceding in all 7 of their last matches since their last clean sheet, which would have been obviously Cheltenham in all competition. But it bloody all seems like the old crapper code, doesn't it? 2 sides who can't hit a barn door at the minute. 2 sides who are not winning games. I spoke to a Stoke fan the other day and he said it wouldn't surprise me if it were a boring 0-0.
It stinks of a 1-0 Leicester win to me. It absolutely stinks of it. Leicester haven't won in that many games. We've dropped off on form. Gary Rowett's come in, manager bounce. He won't get one over on us.
There's never going to be a 0 for Leicester. You're all right.
We can't score at the minute. That's the thing. We're really struggling with goals as well.
Leicester are unbeaten in 11 meetings, Dan, by the way, against Stoke. That's down to winning 7 and drawing 4 in the last meetings with Stoke. So that gives me a little bit of positive, but then I don't want to be the bloody cursor going into this game. I actually want to get something out of this. So
exactly.
It's all right having the record, a good record against Stoke going into the weekend, but you've got to be doing the job to get your points. And what's your sort of stance on the relegation battle, Dan? West Brom have got some easy-ish games coming up. If you look at some of their fixtures, Blackburn 3 points from us. Portsmouth won the other day, didn't they, against Charlton? Massive 3 points for them. What's your sort of stance on this relegation battle in the next 14 games?
Like I've always said to you, I think we will be all right once we stop conceding and have somebody to organise us in that manner. We'll be all right. And as I always keep saying about this season, this league is poor, really poor. That's why I'm most disappointed in the position that we're in. Like I say, just because of how poor this season really is. I mean, it's not like it's going to be like the last 3 seasons where a team's going to get 100+ points, and you're going to have 2 or 3 up there doing it. They're bang average, you know. All right, Coventry and Middlesbrough are stepping away a little bit from everybody else, but let's be honest about it, they ain't great. And that's where I'm, like I say, really disappointed in what we've turned out, how we've performed, and the position that we're in. All right, so what? We've had 6 points taken off of us, and that's why we are where we are. But even with 6 points, we're still not that far off of it. You know, it's not really a reason for us to be in the position that we're in. Is because we lost 6 points. Because I say, even with that, what would still only be 14th, something like that still.
Yeah.
It's not been great. And as I say, there are some rubbish, and really we've only got to look at making sure that we don't finish in that third from bottom spot, because I don't think Oxford will have enough to catch us. And obviously Sheffield Wednesday are still on minus points. So,
well, they could be relegated this weekend by Sheffield.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And so it's not like we're looking over our shoulders for going further behind or down the table. It's really looking and making sure that those sides don't get away from us. Yeah, okay. We're now, as opposed to originally when we first got the points deduction, we were out of the bottom three, and then it was by goal difference, and now we're 2 points in it adrift. And everybody's on pretty much. I think Portsmouth have got one more game in hand, haven't they?
Yeah, if they beat Ipswich, then that'd be significant again.
But then again, so some of those sides around us as well have got some tougher games coming up at the same time. So we're not on our own. Again, like we said, we've got obviously Stoke Saturday, and then Bristol City and Norwich, isn't it?
Middlesbrough, Norwich.
As well. Yeah.
Then we've got Ipswich and then Bristol City.
Yeah. So. Yes, they are four.
We've got a tough run.
Considered to be 4 tough games, only purely because of the position that we're in. If we're realistic about it and the squad that we have, they shouldn't be tough games. But because of the mess that we've got ourselves into, they turn into that.
We just don't turn up.
Well, yeah. I mean, and like what Carl was saying about missing players, obviously for us, it's no coincidence that since Jordan James has not been in the side, we've not won a game either. So we've lost every single one since he's been out. So hopefully Rowett coming in can make us a bit more defensively stable and solid, and then use what we have up front as pace, as a counter-attack, and going like that will hopefully give us a bit more about us.
Cole, what's your thoughts on the relegation battle and obviously the league this year as a whole?
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I think it's the most poorest championship there has been for a long time. I mean, I can't remember our last win, and we're still only 5 points off the playoffs. If we beat you guys on Saturday and we win the next game and the teams above us don't pick up points, we're straight back in the mix. And that's crazy to think, because we have been dreadful this last 5-6 games. The bottom three, I think, I can't see Oxford getting out of it. Sheffield Wednesday are doomed. And then he says just that last spot, isn't it? There's no chance in my mind that Leicester will be there. I just can't see it. I really can't. So it will just be that battle for who drops into that third place. It could be one of many teams, you know what I mean? Everybody's dropping points at the minute. It's just like I say, you've got your Middlesbrough and your Coventry that are the only teams that are doing it consistently. Obviously, Coventry had a bit of a wobble. I think half the championship fan base, and I know yourselves included, were hoping and praying that wobble continued, and they did drop out the playoffs and bottle it. But that win against Borough has done it for them. It's put them in a commanding position again. But yeah, it's just a really poor league, I think, this season. Some of the teams that are potentially going up, they'll be a shock to the Premier League. Your Millwalls and Wrexham could potentially do back-to-back promotions. So, yeah, it's a strange one. It's why I'm quite frustrated with the injuries. I feel like we're nowhere near good enough to go up this season, but this probably would have been one of our best chances of going up from the position that we were start of the season. If we could have just kept a few wins and not, lost as many players, we could have been well in the mix this season, because the league's that poor. That's how I view it this season.
Dan, thoughts on what Paul said about if a sweeper keeper would help the defence out?
Would a sweeper help our defence out? It's a tough one to say. Potentially, it makes it slightly more solid and robust in the fact that you've got a third centre half in there. My only worry with that is that when you consider who our sweeper would potentially be if he's fit, I don't think he is though. With Vestergaard, I think he's going to be out for some time. So because your sweeper needs to be able to pass and bring the ball out. So I would say possibly not, because it will, like I say, it will make us defend deeper, and we're not very good at that.
Fair enough.
It would worry me. And as well, who would you play as your wing backs then? Also,
well, but less said about the better, I think, with Leicester with full backs and that, and going forward. Carl, talk to me about Mark Robins. How well is he done, and also what do you think he'll pick regarding the team at the weekend to face Leicester?
I think he's done exceptionally well. I think we've been on it. We're a club that's been in the decline for so long. We had Michael O'Neill come in, and he was tight under financial fair play. He did bits for us, and then ever since we've been stuck with, we had Pelican, we've had Nathan Jones in, and I think Mark Robins is a wise head. He's experienced, and he is changing our fortunes. There's a lot of Stoke fans that are frustrated with him at the minute because of our form, but again, I'm not on that wagon with them. It's got to be down to injuries. You tell me you can't lose 8, 9, 10 key players and be the same team as you was at the start of the season. It's impossible. I think he's the man. I think he's the man for the job. I think, it's a project he's got with us now. It's going to take him a couple of seasons to get us there, I think. I think next season we've got staying in around the top 6 if we can keep the players fit. Maybe the season after that, you've got to be in that top 6. You've got to be pushing if you're losing the playoffs, albeit, but you've got to be up there. In terms of the squad on Saturday, Simkin is the only choice in goal. He's the only goalkeeper we've got. We've got another keeper who will be on the bench, Frankie Fielding, who's about 39, 40. He's just there for the shits and gigs and the changing room, from what I hear. I think he'll start Eric Bocat. Yeah, he's just there for warm the keepers up and keep morale up in camp here, from what you hear. I think he'll go with Eric Bocat at the back on the left. What defenders have we got fit? He'll go Bocat on the left. He'll have Wilmot and Ashley Phillips as a back two. He'll put Maxi at the right. On the wings, he's been mixing it up. We signed Raksaki, so he's had him playing, and Sorba Thomas on the opposite wing. There is shouts for Million Manouf come back in. So whether he does drop Thomas or he does drop Raksaki for Manouf, I don't know. In the midfield, I think he'll play Pearson because we looked a bit lightweight and he had a sickness for the Fulham game, so he should be back. We'll have Bae-Jun Ho. And then that third spot in the midfield, he'll mix it up. It'll either be Seko, Rigo, or he might play Nzonzi. And then he'll go with the only striker that we've got fit, who will be Schmidt, or he could even play Cisse, who's a winger. He's been playing him up there for pace. So I think that'll be our lineup. There isn't a lot of room to manoeuvre because, like I say, the bench is full of kids. Half the people, me included, sometimes when I see the team sheets, I think, who's that? They're not first team regulars.
I think we're the bloody same when it comes up when looking at Leicester's bench, to be honest. Sometimes a lot of young lads to play due to injuries and that, and obviously players not being fancied, and Dan, Leicester's team, where do we start, mate? Because there's a lot of players we don't want to play. So he'll go Begovic in goal. I think Begovic will start. 2 centre backs. Lascelles will be out, and Vestergaard's out. So we've got the choice now of Coley and Ben Nelson, with the only 2 fit centre backs for Leicester. Ricardo will be at right back, I'm sure.
It wouldn't surprise me as much as really, and especially with how he played against Southampton in that cup game. We'd all really prefer Aluko to play. As much as we all love and adore Ricky P. Unfortunately, this has been one season too many for him.
Would you give Aluko the start over Ricky P at right back and push Ricky P to left back?
No, I wouldn't play Ricky P at all.
Who would you play at left back? Christensen?
I would potentially play Christensen, or our other favourite fullback that everybody loves it when he plays at the minute is Luke Thomas. I'd much prefer to play one of those two in their position than play Ricky P out of position, out of form.
Yeah.
At left back.
What about midfield? Skip. I'd start Skip.
Well, again, I think we're a little bit limited in what we have, but I do think that he will potentially go with a Skip, Winks, and a Rebo as a 3. As much as
it could be more like a 4-3-3.
I think, because I just think those 3. It won't be like a Rebo playing in the 10 or anything like that. I don't think he'll play a 10. I think he'll play a flat midfield 3, and then Abdul, Steffi, and potentially Daka, and say, you 3 go and try and win us the game.
Yeah. What about Mikasa? Would you not go with a camp for this game?
Sorry?
Would you go with a camp for this game? Or would you go the 2 number 8s and the number 6?
Yeah. Yeah.
How does he set up, Carl, by the way, Gary Rowett, regarding formation?
To be honest with you, I can't remember. That's how exciting it was. That's how exciting.
Got fed up of watching him, did you? Is that what it was?
He had just played Benny Kofobi up top on his own.
Yeah.
Defence-wise, he went with a back 4. I think, it'd have been a 4-5-1. I think he packed the midfield. He had 1 up front, and then he had the 4 at the back with the keeper in. So it was very, like I say, I can't remember the last time Stoke played 2 strikers up top. So he definitely didn't do that. And I know he used Benny Kofobi was the main man for him. He was the star by 12 million, along with Tom Menz.
I think Carl's gone.
That's his Wi-Fi gone that he was saying it might happen.
So
going so well.
To be honest with you, I can't.
Oh, there he is. Oh, you're back with us.
I'm back.
Yeah.
You did lose you after.
We got to the formation and then
into
the top.
That's as exciting as it got anyway, that is. It probably dropped out at the right part. Yeah, no, it was just solid. We were solid, but like I say, the football wasn't entertaining, and I can't remember last time Stoke played with 2 up top anyway. I think he had 1 just in behind Benny Kofobi. And that was it, really. That's as much as I can remember. I mean, we're talking, 8 seasons ago now? So, we've never been right since.
4-5-1 then, Dan. I know when you talk to Oxford fans, they say a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2 sometimes when it's formation, but maybe you're right.
I just think for this first game and needing to keep a clean sheet and needing to get well, yes, we'd love to be
proud, don't we, somehow? If we open ourselves too much.
Yeah, to at least get a point. I think, as Carl said, as he was cutting out there, he'll pack the midfield out. And I don't think he'll play anybody that has a bit of freedom in how he plays like Mikasa did, and be exciting. By the sounds of it, he'll stifle that quite quickly.
He'd want to grind out the points the way he feels.
And as we've said, it might not be a prettiest of games. It's not something that you're going to record and watch back later. But if we get something out of it at this moment in time, I will take it.
Got all the makings of being El Shitio, hasn't it, with the both of them? Forget El Clasico.
That's it.
I'll sit up and defend, I'm telling you. Don't get on the halfway line. Just be kicking each other on the bloody halfway line spot. That's what I think we'll do. It'll just be long balls over the top to each other, and then we'll just have it back and forth. The goalkeepers will have more work to do than the bloody midfield or the strikers.
The worrying thing is Asmir Begovic loves to goal at the Bet365. He famously scored, didn't he, from a goal kick?
Yes.
So he loves it. And then if you've got Daka up front, if he hasn't scored for 6 months again, don't worry, we'll give him one as well. Don't you worry
he scored recently.
He scored the other week against Southampton. So
yeah. Any team that comes to Stoke where the form says not 1 in 6, strikers not scored since 2 seasons, that's Stoke fans' worst nightmare.
Seems a bit like a Leicester thing to do, doesn't it, Dan? Is anyone from Stoke scoring about 50 games?
Yeah, 100% is. Whoever's come to the King Power of late, who's been in a world of trouble or struggling or whatever it is, Dr. Leicester's turned up and delivered the medicine to give.
Let's hope that bloody ain't the weekend.
Well, like I say, we're away, so it is a bit different for us this time. So yeah.
Score prediction then. Carl, we'll let you go first with this one. Obviously, you did predict a 2-1 Leicester win last time I spoke to you when we played in a reverse fixture. How do you think this one's going to go, and what you sort of think of head and heart?
It absolutely stinks of a 1-0 Leicester win to me. Gary Rowett coming back. We're bang out of form. You're bang out of form. Your form's worse than ours. Charity FC will rock up because they'll be terrible on 12:30 kickoffs and we'll give you a 1-0 win. I think Gary Rowett will get the goal probably in about the 50th minute and he'll bring on about 4 defenders and that'll be it. That'll be the game.
I know I should have gave him that.
No, we'll have to stop you there.
Not Stoke.
Have to stop you. We ain't got 4 defenders to bring on. You're fine there. You are fine there.
I mean, what do I want? Obviously, of course, I want a Stoke City win, obviously. I mean, it'd be daft to say I'd take a point now because I still want us to try and make that late push for playoffs, hopefully stay in and around, get some players back and see what we can do. But yeah, I think it stinks of a 1-0 Leicester win. That's the honest truth.
Dan?
Well, as I say, I would love a 2-1 because I know there's one thing, it won't be 1-0 because we will concede. We can't help ourselves. Even when we don't look like we're going to concede, one of our keepers will roll the ball to your centre forward for a tap-in because that's what we do. So I'd love a 2-1, but I think it'll be a 1-1.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think it'll be a draw. 1-1. I did have 2-1 in mind. I had 2 different results in my mind. 1-1 draw. I think it's got a draw written all over this. And I think let's bloody hope that West Brom drop points and we gain a point on West Brom. So let's see what happens. Carl, thanks for coming on, mate, despite your technical issues and that.
As ever.
Let everybody know what you do regarding Stoke City, mate, in the podcast.
So we do a Stoke City podcast. It's called Where Potters Walk. I don't think many Leicester fans will be interested in it, to be honest with you. I can't sell it because it's just 20 minutes on all things Stoke, but it's worth a look if you want to cheer yourselves up because we're probably just as depressed as you lot are. So if nothing else, it might give you a laugh for 20 minutes.
It sounds more like a bloody counselling session, doesn't it?
That's normally our Monday nights at Jack.
Thanks for coming on, Cole. All the best, mate.
Ciao.
That's it, Dan. The counselling session's done. Both sides seem to not be confident at all, but it's gonna be an interesting one to how Gary Rowett sets this team up and the way we go against Stoke. Have the boys got the bottle to turn up and show that fight and commitment we hope we can see from a Gary Rowett side and be hard to beat.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen, but Gary Rowett, big job on his hands in a short space of time, and he's gonna want to make hard work for his money, and to be honest, and getting everything together. But Gary Rowett takes his former side Stoke 2-2, and me and Whistle having a booze after. Yeah, Sounds grateful. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Would be appreciated. Like target, we'll set it at 50 likes. So if we can hit 50 likes on these previews, it'd be fantastic. Going to check out championship predictions is me, Rich, and Steve sat down and predicted all the championship games. So after this, go and give it a watch. You won't be disappointed. We will be back on. We'll be back on Sunday for the predictions for the championship again, and the preview Sunday or Monday as we take on Middlesbrough. We've got to go and find a Middlesbrough fan as well, actually. So that's a job for me to do, and we'll see what happens. But no, thanks again, Dan, for coming on.
No worries, buddy.
Appreciate it, and I will catch you at the Bet 365 on Saturday.
You will indeed.
Catch you soon, everyone. Take care.
Yeah, bye.
See you later.